So two the things we're doing is a speaker series. New this year, we started the show and shares where we have CISLL researchers come in and give short presentations. And so across these things, we learned a few things this year that we have a lot of affiliates doing really interesting research on campus. And a lot of these researchers are seeking collaborations. And we also learned that there's a lot of available resources for sharing or for collaborations. For example, some of the people we heard from were the Research Methodology Services, the Jerry Johns Literacy Clinic, and the User Experience Lab in ETRA. And I'll just give you a brief overview of some of these show and shares in a minute. For our speaker series, Dr. Young-Hee Kim and her colleague Michael Scholl came and presented about a new research center here at NIU called CREATE. And so it's a cross-disciplinary research on engaging advanced technology for education. And the center is focused on using new cutting-edge technology and education research. And it's focused on facilitating multidisciplinary collaboration using these technologies. So they talked about the center and its focus, and then discussed some ongoing and upcoming research opportunities. Like they have an NSF grant where they're looking at child-robot interaction design. And then they talked about some challenges in integrating these new technologies in learning and opportunities for NIU researchers. So we learned about there's some opportunity for collaboration with this new center. So this was the only speaker that we had this year, but next year we will be bringing in some more speakers, and later we'll ask you to give some suggestions for who you'd like to see coming in. The show and share series was new this year, and the intention is to provide opportunity for you to share with the community, and it could be sharing about your research. It could be sharing about methodologies you use or are developing, or about research opportunities, for example, resources or collaboration opportunities. And so we had 3 show and shares, 1 in the fall and 2 in the spring. And we heard from CISLL affiliates about these different areas. So our first show and share was in November, and we had 4 presenters. So we had Fadi Demir from ETRA, who talked about interdisciplinary research with emergent technologies. So he talked a bit about his user experience lab and some of the technology that they have, like eye trackers and brainwave monitors, and how these can be used in research. And Dr. Demir is really interested in collaboration opportunities. We heard from Nicole Ledoux about her research on some disciplinary literacies, specifically in geology, looking at using some new technology and increasing topographical map literacy for geology students. And Mandy, we heard from, and she was presenting an overview of her research about individual differences in cognitive abilities and experiential factors in second language learning in classroom and immersion settings, and looking at some behavioral performance and online processing using unique brainwave monitoring technologies. And Allison, we heard from, and she shared about her research about using different measures of speech production to identify factors that can help increase word learning in children with autism. In the spring, we had 2 show and shares, the first one in February, and Norm presented about some of his latest research looking at in post-secondary reading instruction in community colleges, and presented some of his findings and recommendations about literacy practices. And the study looked at these practices in developmental reading and also in career technical education courses. Alicia Santucci is the director of the Research Methodology Services. So she gave an overview of the different services that RMS offers to NIE researchers. So they have both quantitative and qualitative expertise that they can give to principal investigators. And this support helps through the research design for the entire grant process, from design to proposal development to communicating results in the final write-up. And then we also heard from Christine Wilk about the Jerry L. Johns Literacy Clinic, about the types of services that are offered, what resources they have available for researchers, and collaboration opportunities. So they're very open to collaboration. Then in April, we had another show and share. Stephen Tonks gave an overview of his research on reading motivation and engagement. And this research covers a sort of span of students from primary school through college. And he touched on themes including how teachers support reading engagement and the measurement of reading motivation. And then Stacy Kelly presented on her Braille training grant project, which is focusing on helping retrain professionals on a new Braille coding or new Braille code, and her use of MOOC in this training, and the first automatic Braille grading tool, which they use to help provide feedback to the participants. And then finally, we heard from Hamid Patani from Physical Therapy, who provided an overview on some of his latest research on balance and postural control, some of the different measurements that were used, and recent directions in of study in his lab. So you see there's sort of a mixture of people presenting about their research, talking about innovative methodologies they're using, and opportunities in the form of resources that they can share, or seeking collaborations. So we hope to continue these the next year, or we plan to. And if you haven't been able to join us last year, we'd love it if you would be able to join us in the upcoming year. But if you haven't been able to make the events, we're going to be posting video and PowerPoints from them. And the links to that will be available on the CISLL website. And we'll also, of course, send you an email to let you know when they're available. And if you are interested in presenting at a show and share, we would really love to have you. Let us know. Or if you'd like to suggest a presenter. So that was just a little overview of our speaker and show and share series. And next, Keith is going to talk about our grant writing series.
I really loved the show and share. And I think it was just so exciting to see all these different people across the university that have a common thread of literacy. And across the last couple of years, we would like to promote people in writing grants. And so we've had 2 years of having a grant writing workshop. In fact, I see some familiar faces, people who've attended. And I think we've been fairly successful. We've had people submit grants, working through the process. And this process is a sort of a team mentorship model where we sort of help each other. There's old Simpsons episode. You know the Simpsons? Where Homer joins a bowling league. And he has the idea that people help each other. They root for each other. And that's what we're all about, trying to facilitate us writing grants. Because grant writing is sort of a confusing sort of landscape, It's not just having a good idea. Yes, you need a good idea, but you need to find the resources, and sometimes they're hidden. And you need help to develop those ideas, to package them in a coherent, persuasive way. And it's hard to do that by yourself. And it's not only cognitively demanding, I think it's sort of emotionally demanding too. You know, I don't know about you, but sometimes when you're writing something, you know, it's like, will this fly? Will people understand this? Help me! Well, it's a place where we can help each other. Now we've had the insight this year, and the insight is, well, you know, grant writing is part of a bigger project of just writing and generating papers, and I think it's true for younger selves. You can see I'm an older guy, you know, but at one time I was young, and where you can have a good idea, but you need some publications to you know, support your case. So these funding agencies will take you seriously and give you money. So in this coming year, we'd like to broaden the grant writing to more of like a writing assistance program where you can come together and we can help you to write a paper for publication. We think of this as a pipeline, you know, that's the metaphor. And maybe at the end of the pipeline, I don't know exactly where it ends, but one place would be to get that grant out, right? But before that, it would be to get some papers published. So that's where we would like to take the grant writing workshop in the coming years, to be more facilitative and to listen to you and what you would like from such a program. So that's where we'll be going this coming year. And we'd like to, I believe there might be a time today you can give us any feedback on that if you would like, so we can help you do that.
On that point, we already have one speaker has committed to coming, whose expertise is giving you help with the revision process. How to read that letter, how to approach what to attack with an argument and what to attack with changes, and how to both emotionally and cognitively deal with revision.
Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about the resources that we have, and then some of the updates to the website. Some of you may know CISLL has a library. We have over 50 books that may be of interest to CISLL researchers, and these cover topics like methodology or statistics. Some talk about grant writing, and we also have a lot of research area literature. And you can see some of the areas that are covered in the library. And so on our webpage, you'll see that across the top it has its navigation menus, and there'll be one for resources. And you can access our resources page through that, and there'll be a link to see the books that are available. And if you're interested in checking any of these out, just simply send us an email, and we could arrange a time for you to pick up the book. Similarly, we have equipment lending of various software. For instance, we have ePrime, which is experimental design software. And then we have NVivo. We have version 9 and 12. We have laptops with SPSS and HLM, and also M+5. And if you're interested in checking these out, again, you can just email us, and we'll arrange for that. And something new that we have are some mobile lab resources for research projects. So this could be used on campus, or if you're doing research off campus. We currently have about 12 laptops and 30 iPads. So again, if you were interested in utilizing these, just email us. As we'll be talking about in more depth later, we will also have an eye tracker available for use. We also have various media resources, our website, and we also have a YouTube channel which has some videos from past speaker presentations. And we're also on Facebook and Twitter. So if you'd like us on Facebook or Twitter, you can receive different reminders and updates about upcoming events and grant opportunities, etc. We have been working on some website updates. We've made some changes to the front page. So this is what our new landing page looks like. And we have been posting events on the NIU events calendar. But if you're interested in seeing upcoming events, you can just go to the home page and those will feed into there. We have also started a new way of sharing research or affiliates research by starting an affiliate spotlight. And the most recent 3 spotlights will be on the front page. You can link to them from there. And so each of these features a CISLL affiliate. So our most recent one featured Ivana Leck, who was our CISLL graduate student affiliate and our graduate assistant for a number of years. So we're going to post a spotlight featuring an affiliate monthly, September through June. And as I mentioned, the link can always be found on the CISLL homepage. And then once you accessed a post, you can also navigate to the archive to see prior spotlights. We've been posting spotlights this year, and so here are some of the affiliates we've featured. Ivana Leck talking about foreign language learning, and Dylan talking about beliefs and argument evaluation, and Allison and some of her research on word learning on children with autism, and Lindsay looking at whether new reading technologies are preventing the blind from reading. Norm giving some more detail about his study on post-secondary reading instruction. And then Britt and Amanda Durick talking about the new grant in which they're working on a way to help
seventh graders learn science.
Yeah, learning science.
Yes.
Right. So we're really excited about this opportunity to share with our communities, to share research amongst ourselves, but also to share it more widely. And we're really excited to see that we've already had over 1,000 views on the spotlights, and the views have been increasing each month. So our research is getting out there into the wider world as well as amongst ourselves. So if you'd like to be featured in a spotlight, let us know, or if you want to suggest someone, we would love to do a spotlight on you.
We did a survey at the beginning of the year at our kickoff meeting, and then we did another survey. Thanks for everybody that filled these out. What was that, in April? Okay. One of the questions was, what can CISLL do for you? And these are some things that we focused on and we're doing well, and people thought we were doing well and they wanted. So provide collaborative events, rich dialogue and thinking about issues related to language and literacy inside and out of their own area, okay? Build interdisciplinary connections and collaborations, support for grant writing, dedication to mentoring students, being a positive place to boost morale on campus and a sense of community, provide funds for initial research projects. And then this one sort of, most of these are collapsed across the different ones, but this one put it so beautifully, so I just took it. I love the software lab, laptop checkout, access to the experts in a variety of fields, and the grant writing resources. So those were some things that we're doing well. Here's some things that we wanted to focus on from the surveys for this coming year and in the future a little bit better. So one is they want the eye tracking training. We're going to have that with workshops, 2 to 3 minute videos, and they're going to do a presentation today. Assisting faculty with collaboration, so we're doing that, but we want to really continue to do that. Provide more information about the availability of grant opportunities and assistance in finding new grants. Karyn has worked so hard on the website, and I think she's done a great progress, especially with Keith Millis doing the spotlights and Lindsay editing them beautifully. My God, she's an awesome editor. So anyway, with all of that, they've done a great job. What we want to focus now on is a little of the back end, and we might do this through Blackboard. I might have a slide on this later, but we might do this on Blackboard or something, like to have a group where we can put much more information about the types of grants that are out there, opportunities, and other grants that have actually been submitted and got money, and those that have been submitted that didn't get money, and what you put in the different parts. So we want to have like a resource. Okay, the next thing is bring colleagues together. So a little more this time. Those show and shares were fantastic, and we learned a lot about everybody. I think one of the things that was a little frustrating in a way was we didn't get to talk as much. I mean, your day was like awesome. It was like each one of you stopped and it was like, okay, we could spend 20 minutes talking about each one. So we want to do a little bit more interactive thinking and talking and feedback. And then more support for learning about research methodology and stats. We didn't do any of that this year. And so we're thinking about doing that. And then changing it so it's a little bit more about the writing group. Okay. And then finally, a searchable database for member affiliates on Blackboard that would have links so that you can really see what are you guys doing over there, and do you have an expert over there that we can connect with, and so forth. That would have demographics, the number of current members we have, how many are joining each semester, publications that we have, how are we doing on that, and experts that we have in the different areas. Then somebody else asked for a semester digest or newsletter. And we might do that on this website that sort of collapses some of this into a summary to highlight collaborations among the affiliates. And then next, some people asked for short videos on projects, how to, show and share. So if there's anything that you want to have somebody make a video on, like let's say you just learned how to do mixed effects modeling and you're really good at it, and you could give an overview and how to find resources, you could make a video, and we could put it up there. Okay, NIU Today, they said that we publicize it. We've been trying to do that. Karyn's been doing really well. Lindsay got us to put it on those boards and, media boards. So the information is getting out there. So we just want to make sure to publicize. Encourage to bring a colleague. So bring a colleague to these kind of events, okay? And then put the CISLL logo on your research.